bees have a similar social life as we have as human beings. How it happens is they have a very strong queen, which is the leader of the hive. They have men and women equally contributing to the hive. The females are largely the workers. They do different kinds of activities according to their experiences. Very young female workers contributes to nursing the hive, making the hive clean and things. Experienced females, they are responsible for foraging. They can actually forage up to 8 kilometers from a hive to contribute to pollination services and to collect pollen and also to collect nectars. My name is Subramanian Sevgan. I head the environment health team at SAP. In environment health team, we look at conserving the biodiversity in the ecosystem and also conserving various beneficial arthropods, both for biodiversity and for creation of livelihoods for communities. Bees are very critical in the ecosystem. They support us in different ways. One is they contribute to pollination services, both for our crops and also for the wider vegetation that is available around, and hence bees also contribute significantly to the crop productivity. But globally, these bees are threatened due to various factors, which includes climate change and also intensive agriculture practices. SAP, we are trying to understand these factors that contribute to the decline of the bees and see how adaptation strategies can be brought about. If you look at major crops that are dependent on on bee pollination here in Kenya, I would say avocado, which is a big buzzword now in terms of export markets, cannot be produced without effective pollination. We have studied this and we have found that supplemental pollination can actually increase yields of avocados by up to 20%. This is not just with avocados. Crops like cucurbits, strawberries, and many others are critically dependent on pollination, and so conserving these bees is very critical.
It's said that 75% of food crop which we consume depend directly on bees for fruit and seed set, meaning that if these crops are not pollinated, they cannot bear fruits. Bees are divided into two major categories. We have what we call solitary bees, and we have which we call social bees. In the African continent, we have two types of social bees. We have the common honeybees, which everyone knows, and we have also what we call stingless bees, meliponidae bees. By social bees, I mean these are bees which live in a colony. They have a queen who's the mother of the colony. She's the one who reproduces inside the colonies. Here in Kenya, we have three different races of honeybees. We have what we call Apis mellifera monticola. These are races which are found in high altitude, above 2,500 meters. And these are the races you can find in Mount Elgon, in Mount Kenya. We have also another race which we call Apis mellifera littorae. This is the coastal bees. Then in most of the plain we have here in Kenya, we found a race which is called Apis mellifera scutellata. It's the most common bee which is reared all over Kenya. ICIPE has been doing a lot of research related to crop pollination using these two types of bees, which I mean the honey bees and the stingless bees.
Another group of bees, which we call as the stingless bees. As the name goes, they don't sting, so if you are interested to have a hive next to your house, you can definitely have it. The honey that is produced by stingless bees has unique properties. They are medicinal in nature, but what is lacking is these stingless bees are currently in the wild. Scientists at SAP have optimized how they can be housed in hives, so we have designed unique types of hives for stingless bees.
Honey bee and stingless bees are not only the two type of bees for which ICIPE show interest. There is another category of bees which we call the carpenter bees. These are solitary bees which ICIPE has also interest. These bees, they don't produce honey, but they are very efficient pollinator, and mainly for those crops which require buzz pollination.
Bees also produce a good amount of honey, which has its own value both culturally and also in the export market and in the regional market. We also have diverse qualities of honey that comes about from different regions, because bees forage on different crops in different regions, and each of these honey are uniquely poised to make some good value.
Honey is not the only hive product which we found in social bees. We also have other products such as pollen, which is commonly also called bee bread. We also have other products such as bee wax, propolis. We have also products such as bee venom. And one of the interesting products which is highly valuable is what we call the royal jelly, which is produced by young nurse bees, and it's used to feed the queen. And it has a lot of interesting chemical properties, such as boosting the immunity system of the human body, rejuvenating the human body, and therefore it's a product which is extremely valuable in beekeeping.
The stingless bee honey does not have a standard, approved standard. Anytime a stingless bee honey is equated to a honeybee honey, which is quite different. The stingless bee honey is a bit more watery. It has more acidic properties, acidic taste than the honey. So currently our focus is also to see if standards for stingless bee honey can be brought into the market, so that these stingless bee honey can also be sold on the shelf of a store in Kenya or anywhere in Africa or beyond. We have also come up with a series of videos which explains to you on how best you can manage a honeybee or a stingless bee honey, how best you need to manage the environment in terms of conserving these honeybees, and also you can look at that, you can appreciate the diversity of honeybees that is available in Africa. And in this regard, one of our colleagues, Dr. Robert Copeland, is an expert in terms of insect taxonomy, and he will speak to you more about the diversity of bees that can be seen in Africa and how they can contribute to both livelihood and also for biodiversity conservation.
For all the insects in the world, it's important that we get to know who they are and how they may fit into our habitat, into our lives, but also how they fit into habitats and environments in which humans don't play a great part except in a destructive way. Insects as well as other animals are under threat, particularly from climate change and increasing human populations. Bees are incredibly important, probably responsible for close to 50% of all crops. Besides the honeybee and other local pollinators, we have a group called stingless bees, which, like the name implies, are not capable of stinging. They're usually very small, and they can be kept on farm easily as long as there's an adequate amount of food in the way of flowers and pollen for their progeny. They are easily the most important insect as far as human food is concerned, but they're also part of a wider experience in various habitats, some of which have nothing to do with humans. And there are other bees which aren't so obviously important to humans, except insofar as they attack other bees. There's a whole group, many species of bees which do not collect pollen at all, depend on other bees doing that chore for them, after which these parasitic bees will crawl into the nest of the pollinating bee and kill its eggs or larvae and replace them with its own to get rid of pests, and that is with the use of insecticides. The problems with insecticides, although they basically help create the Green Revolution, is that they kill not just the bad pests, they also kill the neutral insects that don't have anything to do with us, and the beneficial insects, which would help us to control naturally pests on farm. People should understand that not only do insecticides work, and sometimes of course they don't work if pests become, immune to that, but that other things are really, really important to keep alive on farm, and that's bees, which are susceptible to being killed by the insecticides that we use to maximize growth of our crops. What we can do is give to conservation oriented NGOs to try to work together with national organizations to do things like they've done at the Aberdares, which is basically to conserve an entire ecosystem.